The only way Tinubu can survive in Nigeria as a southern president is to make sure that the Fulani is suppressed politically. I repeat, the only way Tinubu can survive in Nigeria as a southern president is to make sure that the Fulani is suppressed politically. We have 3 states in northern Nigeria, 3 powerful states. We have Kano, we have Kastina, and we have Kaduna. Now, Tinubu must win these 3 states for him to gain control of northern Nigeria. He must exert his influence in these 3 states for him to gain control of northern Nigeria. These are the powerhouses of northern Nigeria. And Tinubu is doing a lot to make sure that he silence and retire top Fulani politicians. Let's go to Kano State. Kano State is locked down for the APC politically because we have Kwankwaso, who is coming for presidency under NNPP. And NNPP is playing a wild card for the APC that will allow Tinubu win the next election. If Kwankwaso comes out for presidency next year, 2027, he is going to divide the votes of an article. Let's go to Kastina State. Kastina is locked down for the APC. Buhari State, it is locked down for the APC. The emir in that state was shouting Tinubu's name. Tinubu, Tinubu, Tinubu. After Tinubu, whether they gave him money, during the burial of Buhari, I saw the support Tinubu got from Kastina State. Now, Kaduna State is problematic because of El-Rufai. What did Tinubu do? Southern Kaduna University was created. We know that in the history of Kaduna State, the Hausa Fulani suppressed every other minority tribes. According to reports, the Hausa Fulani make up 60% of the population in Kaduna State. Kaduna is big. We have the north and south. North predominantly Muslims, south Christians. So whatever development is coming into Kaduna State, they always channel it to northern Nigeria. And Kaduna State is critical. If you can win Kaduna State, you saw the last by-elections. You saw how APC performed in the by-elections in Kaduna State. It tells you how Tinubu is succeeding in making sure that the Fulani become less influential in Nigerian politics. That is another pathway to restructuring. Look at northern Nigeria today. Fulani dominate economically, politically, academically, religiously, and traditionally. Just Fulani. Hausa is one of the tribes in Nigeria with the highest population. But Fulani, which carry 5th or 3rd or 4th or 5th, is dominating the whole of northern Nigeria. And the Fulani, they are willing tools in the hands of these colonial masters to make sure that Nigeria remain the same way it is. So we got a good news. Southern Kaduna is now admitting students. So if you are a non-Muslim, if you are a Christian, and if you are not Fulani, we know it's Hausa Fulani. Let's look at the history. Now, in Kaduna State, the Hausa Fulani majority occupies the north. In Kaduna State, the Hausa Fulani majority occupies the north, often refers to as Mecca. They call northern Kaduna Mecca. They call southern Kaduna Jerusalem. You can see how Israel and Palestine, they happen. Christianity and Islam in a whole Kaduna State. That El-Rufai, probably a jihadist, became governor. And you saw the terror he reigned on the southern part of Nigeria. When Tinubu inaugurated this southern university, many Fulani politicians were very angry. They cannot come out and voice their grievances. They cannot come out and express their... You see, at one point in time, some of these politicians, they just come and say 1 or 2 things. Then you now understand the kind of hatred they have for what Tinubu is doing in northern Nigeria. So that's Southern University, number 1. And number 2, picking the chief of defense staff from Southern Kaduna is another big problem that an El-Rufai will have with a Tinubu. Somebody may wonder, why did Tinubu not bring this guy, El-Rufai, into his government? They say a lot of things. The guy is a controversial person. And if the guy were to be in Tinubu's government today, man, Tinubu said for no rest. That is why, however Tinubu is doing it, he's making sure that the Fulani become less important in his government. Anybody that is going to work with him is a loyal person. Tinubu considers loyalty than even competence or capacity. If you are loyal, he can use you anyway, anyhow. So any Fulani that is going to work with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he's going to be loyal to his own way. It is Tinubu's way. So as it stands, Southern Kaduna, good news. If you are not Christian, if you are Christian, if you are Muslim, everybody has a right to go to university. In northern Nigeria, there are some universities, you go and meet the emir, the traditional ruler. He will give you a letter to attend some universities, Zaria, a lot of courses. They will limit you, even as an Hausa person. Now Hausa, now you get the land, now Hausa, now you get Kano State, Hausa, now you get Kaduna State, Hausa, now you get Kastina State, even the Sokoto, the Sultan of Sokoto, Hausa, now you get those places. But when it comes to academics, the Fulani have devised a means whereby they will filter every other person. See, when you talk of manipulation, the Fulani, they are number one in Nigeria, seconded by another tribe. Mago, they know how they systematically filter away a lot of Hausas from going to school. When you look at the educated people in northern Nigeria, let them be Fulani now. Hausa is not as educated as the Fulani. How come? Hausa doesn't get land, but traditional rulers, na Fulani. Religious leaders, way popular, na Fulani. The politicians, na Fulani. The economic guru, na Fulani. Most of them in northern Nigeria, although Dangote aside, push Dangote aside. But you see, this Southern Kaduna University, they go cause big problem for northern Nigeria. I tell you, what Tinubu is fixing, creating is a divide and rule system. For this university to stand, a lot of bandits, a lot of Boko Haram, a lot of people are angry with that. You see, all these things cannot make the news. I'm telling you, they cannot make the news. Somebody said that, let's look at, we brought Buhari into politics to stop OPC dismantling Fulani in Ilorin. Yes, this is from Galadima. They said, we brought Buhari into politics to stop OPC from dismantling Fulani in Ilorin. One of the people, the tribes or the ethnicities that are afraid of Nigeria restructuring is the Fulani, not even the Hausa. They are afraid of Nigeria restructuring. So that's why they want to be in power. They will align with anybody to make sure that they are in power, so that they will stop anybody that wants to restructure Nigeria. Because if you restructure Nigeria today, the Fulani, they are the biggest losers. They have nowhere to go. Where are they going to go? They can be whining and gaslighting the Hausas. But the Hausas, if they know themselves, they know that these guys are strangers in this land. They will send them back to their Futajalon, or wherever they are, Senegambia. Where they will send them back. So they brought Buhari into politics to dismantle OPC, to make sure that they stop OPC from dismantling Fulani in Ilorin, and they are succeeding. So Tinubu understands that if he has to stay longer in power, he must make sure that the Fulani politicians are less influential. We have Atiku, we have El-Rufai. These ones die hard. They are the ones that say, look at Buhari. After Buhari became president, Tinubu deceived northern Nigeria. He played a long game. We support Buhari. They know, the Yorubas know that Buhari is a big failure. The Yorubas cannot even allow Buhari to become a chairman of local government in their own place. They know that anybody can just rule Nigeria, but they will secure their own region. Like I said, one Nigeria now for, no be for people who stay to, no be for your region. One Nigeria. You cannot come to Lagos and start saying one Nigeria, preaching one Nigeria. You cannot come to the southeast and be preaching one Nigeria. They go clear out for you. Even northern Nigeria, you cannot come there and start preaching one Nigeria. Okay, as a Calabar person, go and be a chairman in northern Nigeria. Should be all of us are Nigerians. All of us are Nigerians. So it is only Fulani that is that the one Nigeria is favoring. He's not favoring anybody. So as it stands, you see Atiku, you see El-Rufai. These guys are gone. Tinubu has succeeded in manipulating northern Nigeria, deceiving northern Nigeria, giving them Buhari. Buhari did here. Let him become president. We don't care. Buhari doing in acrobatics, left, right, center. He tanked the economy. He destroyed the economy. That is why most people are not going to understand the Tinubu. They will never, because Tinubu brought in Buhari as a disaster. But it was a price he was to pay for the Southwest to get into power, to bring in Buhari, and through the back door, seize power, collect power for Buhari hand. Collect them. Even when Buhari was even failing, they were supporting Buhari. It tells you the long politics that the Southwest, or Tinubu as a Southwest politician, played so as to make sure that they hold on to power. They know that the Fulani would never want to relinquish power. We agree, say 8 years. Why they removed Jonathan? So many reasons. Yes. Number one, external influence. Number two, Jonathan cannot be a Southern president. It is Yar'Adua's turn. Yar'Adua's turn. You want to come and do 10 years? They said the 2 years Jonathan did for Yar'Adua is countable. We cannot allow him to do another. After you do 2 years, you win the next election, you do 6 years. You want to come and do another 4 years so that you have 8 years. That is one of the arguments that made even an Atiku abandon the PDP for Wike and co. Atiku abandoned PDP. So most times you see Wike doing what he's doing. Sometimes I don't even talk because it is not a person of Atiku that we start comparing to Wike. All of them abandoned nonchalant attitude, left the PDP. Wike used River State funds, harmonized and organized, even till northern Nigeria, he was holding forth. Financially, Wike stood his ground against the Buhari self. There's a time he attacked the Tinubu. When Wike saw the reality check came on him. The Fulani treated Wike in a certain way. He now decided to play politics on them. You saw what Tambuwal and Atiku did to Wike. You saw how they maneuvered and played him. Wike had already almost won that primary that got Atiku. He almost won the primary. I see a lot of things happening. It is the Fulani factor. See, the Fulani would always want to dominate you. If you are Fulani, look at Kaduna State. Look at Kano State. Look at Kastina. Now, Hausa get up, Fulani is dominating. Look at Kwara State. Now, Yoruba get up, Fulani is there. You can see the whole picture. Anywhere Fulani find themselves, they want to dominate you. See, if they come into the southeast Nigeria, you see, there's only one tribe or ethnicity. The Igbos, they are the only ones that will be willing to stay in the same country with the Fulani. And that's why after the Civil War, the Fulani made sure that they can collaborate, join anybody to bring down the Igbo man. Whether he should not be president, he should not be influential. The same book the Fulani played on the Igbo person is the same book Tinubu is playing on the Fulani. That is why anything that has to do with Fulani, making them less influential in Nigeria, dismantle Fulani. Me, I'm there in spirit, soul, and body. I support it. Left, right, center. I support it. Now, Tinubu established these southern universities to quench Fulani domination in Kaduna State. And it's happening. Within 8 years, you will see what will happen. 2,000 slots for that university. New university, see, as they don't build so many buildings, within, I think it's in March. How many months now? That university. So Christians are heaping a sigh of relief. Everything left, right, center. It is little by little you get these northerners. Because most of them, they don't want good for themselves. Not to talk of good for other people. Anywhere they find themselves, the Fulani find themselves. Anywhere Fulani sees power. Anywhere in Nigeria, the Fulani sees power. They will make sure that the indigents suffer. They can lie, they can manipulate, they can say all sorts of things to gaslight you. But man, Tinubu is the best person that is handling these guys. I tell you. Now when you look at it critically, we'll still look at the history of Hausa Fulani. Even the Hausa Fulani itself. The Hausas are saying that, please don't join us. I entered like 3 bikes in the past 1 month. I intentionally will ask the bike man, are you Fulani? He will say, no, I'm Hausa. Is Hausa and Fulani not the same? He said, no. 3 persons. The 3 times I asked these Hausa guys, they never want to identify with the Fulani. So even in Kaduna State, the Hausa say they don't get sense. Anybody you see in power now, they're just trying to play along. They're waiting for a chance. The Hausas, they're waiting for a particular chance to hunt down the Fulani. Because of the atrocities of the Fulani, you done too much for Nigeria. I tell you, the atrocities done too much. They should not be allowed access to the central power to power the middle. Never again. If Nigeria needs to recover in any which way, if you give them power, they will seclude and sideline every other tribe, both the Igbos and Yorubas, at certain positions, like what the Buhari did. Buhari with their help. Buhari told Sukun Lori television. Boy that was crying in front of the media because he lost election, and he vowed that he will not come again. You see, Fulani, Mr. Integrity, he vowed saying no go run again. Now him do 8 years after that. They were shouting, Mr. Integrity, Mr. Integrity. You know, say integrity get different definition. Now English language, the way you see the integrity different from the way another person see the integrity. An average politician, he can deceive and lie. Whether he does not steal money or not to steal money like other people. But when I ask this question, say in wife and children, which money that they use, they go travel, go Dubai and all this, where the money did in wife and children, as a result of his presidency, some people embezzle money, and you're telling me that the guy, they do personally. How does that make sense? Now, Bishop Kuka was chosen as the vice chancellor of the university. Bishop Kuka, that is a great critic of President Tinubu. President Tinubu found a way to involve him. He knew that if he involves him in this Kaduna whatever, it's going to create a balance of power. And watch the competition from now to the next 6-7 years. Let me tell you, I will keep on saying it. See, they will not report to this Southern Kaduna University. They have started admitting students to 1,000 students. They don't admit 1,000 students. You see how students are happy. I watched the video. I saw even most of them are from the southeast. They were enrolling into the school. See, Abu Zaria. I stand to be corrected. Abu Zaria. The politics there is too much, like every other state. But the politics should not even exclude a lot of Hausas. Hausas also attend Zaria. But you cannot ask the question that how come the Fulani are dominating? How come? Me, I'm intelligent too. I'm not a pushover. I'm not a mumu. How come is the Fulani dominating academically? You see, the person that built Pakistan's nuclear weapon, I think it's Abu Khan. The US tried frustrating this man. They tried frustrating this man. After then, they made sure that they don't give some people access to some particular courses on nuclear weapon. This man studied nuclear weapon as a Pakistani. He worked, I think, in an Indian company or a nuclear Indian company. He resigned. He copied all the whatever, the formulas and everything, the information he needed to build out nuclear weapon. He put that for his head. He cannot go Pakistan. Now because of that man, Pakistan get nuclear weapon. So they know that education is key. An average Hausa person now, Baru, fruit, farmer, an average Fulani person is educated. Forget those who are for farm. Fulani are very educated. Go to the ministry, you see them there. Compared to the Hausas, I'm not saying Hausas are not educated. Fulani, they go abroad. You see the governor of Kano State, you carry many people abroad. Now, investigate most of those that are going abroad are Fulanis. Fulanis are using Nigeria to enrich themselves. Yeah, they don't want the country to be structured. Yeah, they want to undermine people's culture and their heritage. They want to dominate people's land and kill people in their farmlands. They want to be causing insecurity and maintaining insecurity. Let there be insecurity so that they will be powerful in Nigeria. Anytime we have a Southern president, they come after a Southern president. They don't care. They are the owners of the country. That is more reason why I'm supporting Tinubu 100% in what he's doing. How come you are afraid that you are angry? Hey, look at what Ubasani is doing within 2 years of Kaduna State. Outperform what this El-Rufai did. 8. You know, El-Rufai may have done a lot of things for Northern Kaduna. May have done a lot of things. But if you cannot have peace, there's a lot of conflict. Okay. Now let's look at this. The Hausa Fulani have historically wielded government power and control over the state's political and economic structures. You see, I talk and since. The Hausa Fulani have historically wielded government power and control over the state's political and economic structures. That's how they do. This has damaged relations with the non-Muslim minority. The non-Muslims are often referred to as pagans, and they have been ruled by the dominant Muslim population for years. Those ethno-religious differences have been entrenched by the dominant Hausa Fulani. I don't know why they are still calling them Hausa Fulani. let's just call them for now. The Hausa Fulani group, who make up 60% of the population, the group has marginalized the 30 minority non-Muslim tribes who make up the remaining 40%. These tribes are now predominantly Christian. According to this report, Hausa Fulani, 60% Muslim. The other people, non-Fulani or non-Muslim, consisting of 30 tribes, they make 40%. These ethno-religious differences have been entrenched. They make sure that there is this divide, there is this, I be Fulani, Hausa, you be another person. I have access to power. In same Nigeria, these people are foreigners. Look at history, they are foreigners. So if Tinubu has to survive his political journey, he must make sure that the Fulani is less important in northern Nigeria. Because when you look at population, according to statistics, northern Nigeria has the population. And the Fulani, they are a catalyst. They know how to push propaganda, work against you politically, both in your government and out of your government. You see what Buhari told Jonathan, I will make your government ungovernable. Yes, and even the APC copied Buhari and co. and Erufai. Osibajo said that a parallel government, whatever, threat. That's how they do. No matter, that's the reason why Tinubu was wise enough not to allow an Erufai become part of his government. If not, if for Jera, Erufai is a strong man, no. Erufai, hey. It's like these guys, they played Erufai a fast one. It is not fair to Erufai, but Erufai, what Erufai represents is not good for Nigeria today. The more reasons why the Middle Belt, they are angry with P2B you, we they see you and Pantami, we they see you and Erufai, Middle Belt, North Central, most of them. So we supported you, we gave you more than 1 million votes. So even the most of the votes you got is from northern Nigeria, from our area in northern Nigeria. But we are seeing you hibernating with these guys. My brother, we're not going to support you again, no. So these Fulani guys, if Tinubu wins the next election, see, forget about them. By 2031, forget about Erufai and whatever it is. So congratulations to Southern Kaduna University of Applied Science and Art. I think then a lot of things, people can now have access to education. Non-Muslim can become influential. They will be inspired by what Tinubu is doing to make sure that they take over power from Fulani. The Hausas are getting inspired now. It is just a long battle, but the foundation is being set by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.